Rastelli, our own personal butcher with 48 years experience, is here to talk about 4 pork loins. Now, this is incredible. Already seasoned for you, all ready for you to pop into an oven. A 375 oven for how long, Mr. Rastelli?
For 15 minutes, David, with some moisture in the bottom of that pan covered, and then you take the cover off for 15 minutes more, and you have the most incredible filet mignon pork.
Yeah, filet mignon of pork.
Yes.
What you're looking for is an internal temp of about a 145. There will be some carryover cooking. It's important to know that you're getting 4 pork loins for this price. 4 16-ounce marinated pork tenderloins. Now, you may choose all steakhouse marinated. You may choose all Italian marinated, or you may choose a combo of the 2 flavors. That means you're going to get 2 of each for a total of 4.
That's right.
Now, this price and its 4 easy pays will all go away at the end of our show. At 9:59, this is all going to go away. Now, Italian is most limited, and as I'm so famous for saying, where you see juice, you see flavor.
So true.
These are so easy to cook and so easy to eat.
David, every bite is going to be as tender as you could possibly imagine. We all know how tender the beef filet mignon is. Well, this is the pork filet mignon, and not just any pork. This is pork that we've been working with farmers in the Pennsylvania Amish country for the last 45 years. These are farmers I trust. These are farmers who give us the very, very finest. And you've tried some of the Rastelli pork in the past, but this is the creme de la creme. This is the pork filet mignon.
Now, which marinade is this?
This is the steakhouse, David. So what you get in the steakhouse is you get really a bold steakhouse flavor.
I'm reaching for a fork.
Yep. What you've got is obviously some salt, some pepper, some garlic, and the way we actually marinate this, David, is we actually season it and then we brine it for 2 hours, because I don't want just the marinade on the outside in the seasoning. I want it all the way through. And you can see, as I continue to slice, see how juicy it continues to get? Look at the seasonings are inside of this pork loin as well as on the outside.
And gone are the days when you had to cook pork to death. This is 145 internal temperature.
That's it.
Little internal cooking will bring this a little higher, and very juicy, very flavorful because of that marinade. Shall I just go in here?
Go ahead, go right in, David. Yep. This is what I call pork for a fork. Right? Look at that. You can go right through that with a fork.
This is the steakhouse. Mr. Rastelli, that is some kind of delicious. Can we try the Italian?
Absolutely.
I'm starting to break out into a sweat.
Yes.
I have the meat sweat.
And you can see I'm still slicing, and I wanted to show you how big this is. I've still got some pork tenderloin here left. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 13 slices, and I'm still going to get a couple more. So this is going a very long way, and this is one of them.
All right, that's the steakhouse marinade.
That's the steakhouse. Now, here's the Italian marinade, and what you're going to get out of this is real flavors of Italy. You're going to get those sun-dried tomatoes. You're going to get that fresh garlic and fresh herb. But I want you to notice, we've taken every ounce of fat off of here, David. Look at the crust on the outside. Look at how beautiful that is.
They call that meat candy.
Look at that's it. But that's and that's. I wish you could smell it. You're smelling that beautiful sun-dried tomato on there. But every bite is going to be incredibly tender.
I'm going in.
Look at the outside.
I'm going in for a whole bite.
Go ahead.
A whole piece. Look at that. Come on now. Come to Daddy. Mr. Rastelli, that is amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
Oh my word, the flavor is just right.
It is. It's not overpowering, right? And think about the things you can do. I love taking the Italian and putting that Italian, on my caprese salad. It just makes it so simple. And because it's filet mignon of pork, the tenderness, you don't need a knife at all. You can cut this with a fork.
And we're using a knife to make it look pretty. I mean, this is something where the price is going to go away, not at the end of the day, but at the end of our show.
Yes.
At $9.59. Now, if you want the steakhouse marinade, I have $450. If you want the Italian, I have $270. And if you want the combo, I have $1,000 to go around, but that is most popular. And we have auto delivery, delivering every 60 days for 1 year. Now, imagine this for Christmas time. Now, follow me over here. Look what we did over here. We did a whole platter and made it for Christmas time. Can you imagine what Christmas would be like? How easy it would be? If this could be your center of the table.
Think about it. We've already seasoned it. You've got the outside crust on there. It's going to take 30 minutes and you're done. And that's going to feed a ton of people, David. So it doesn't matter what the holiday is or what that special occasion is, a Sunday afternoon. This is guaranteed to get your guests.
And I hope you have some leftovers, because then you make sandwiches the next day.
That's exactly right.
Oh, my word, so fantastic.
And I wanted to go to the block just for a minute, because I think it's really important to understand, you know, as a butcher for 48 years, I always look at really where we start and where we end up. Well, this is that pork tenderloin as you typically see. It's got lots of fat on the outside of it. It's got what we call silver or sinew, but that's going to stay on the outside of it. But when we get it, what we do is we take every ounce of fat off of it.
You trim it.
We trim it completely. Everything is trimmed by hand by our butchers. We've been doing that for 48 years. Then we go ahead and season it. We brine it for that 2 hours, and that's where this flavor actually isn't just on the outside. It goes right into the center of this pork filet mignon, and every bite will be as juicy and tender as the first.
Every one of your pork loins will be vacuum sealed with that marinade inside, so it only has one place to go, in the meat. This is going to be fantastic. And let me remind you that if you want just the steakhouse, I have fewer than 400. If you want just Italian, 240 to go around. If you want just combo, 900 available, and you have only until the end of our show, which is at 9:59. It's now 8:09. Time is not on your side. Look at this pork. When we come in for this nice tight shot, I want you to see these beautiful slices, how juicy, how tender, how perfectly trimmed every 14-ounce pork tenderloin is. I've been doing a lot more pork tenderloin at home. It's a very low carb treat. It's really fantastic. When you get it this flavorful, it's even more fantastic. I serve this usually with baked sweets or mashed sweet potatoes, green vegetables, sometimes cauliflower mash. Whatever the case may be, look at that seasoning on the outside. That's flavor.
That's flavor, and it's real spices and herbs and sun-dried tomato, and you're going to taste it all the way through this filet mignon of pork. And you know, I'm cutting nice thin slices, but sometimes I like to just do this. I'd like to just make a nice thick filet mignon, right? So this becomes a center piece, a center plate where I can take this, you know what, I'm going to just do it on a salad. So now
like a deconstructed Caesar.
I've got a full meal here where I've got a Caesar and I've got some beautiful pork filet mignon, and it's that simple. And
maybe make your dressing from scratch, or there's no shame in your game. Maybe you buy a bottle. That's okay, because then what you're adding to it is this beautiful filet mignon of pork. Now, Tina, are you ready for some pork tenderloin?
Am.
Come in here, my darling. Have we another fork for Tina?
we've got
this
some
one.
forks right here.
Have we some extra?
There you go.
Oh,
Extra.
there we go.
Now, Tina, if you want to come in, I'll swap places with you.
I'm gonna,
now, Mr. Rastelli, if you want to give Tina a little tour.
Tina, that's the Italian. Because
Oh,
we got some.
we were talking
we were
about
just talking
this.
about this. Yes.
I love a sandwich with this.
And that's actually what I'm going to make right
I
here.
love it plain, too. I might have the other half of that piece that you had.
It's so juicy and so tender and so flavorful.
There's not a tough piece about it, and there's no fat either. It's all trimmed. Now, the amber colored is the steakhouse.
Is the steakhouse. So
Oh, yeah.
I want you to see this. Now the steakhouse is really a nice, full steakhouse flavor. It's got some salt, pepper, garlic. But this is what I want you to see. This is what I'm looking for. And
look at that.
you get that flavor and you get that moisture because it's pork from the Pennsylvania Dutch country. It's the Amish folks I've been working with for all these years to create really the very, very best in a filet mignon of pork. So I'll give you a bite of that, Tina. That's the steakhouse flavor.
That's the steakhouse.
Steakhouse.
What do you think of steakhouse? Isn't that lovely?
So
I might go for a little piece of that, too.
Oh my goodness, Ray.
Every bite is better than the last.
That's so good.
Now, you've got a platter to take to the table.
I do. We're going to take this to the dinner table.
Now, we have an extra purchase of Ray's steak sauce that is just as good on the pork, right there in that open space.
Nice.
Because we're filling our Mother's Day brunch table with all the great foods from the show.
Love that.
So you see that we've got all that coming up, and we got more to fill up. Plus, we have the California Innovations totes, insulated totes.
Love
that
it.
one maybe says Happy Dance on it because it's available. All right, so we'll see you back in a little while.
Yeah, I'm going to take this kale salad.
Because you're working on some kale.
Because that's what we're going to work on here.
Because you have to massage kale, otherwise it's chewy.
We're going to massage it up.
All right. In that beautiful tilt head stand mixer. Now, let me update you on our steakhouse marinade. I have 350 left. If you want the Italian, I have fewer than 200. If you want the combo, now fewer than 600, and the combo is now over half gone.
Oh.
Many of you are hoping you're having leftovers on this because you're going to make sandwiches out of it. You'll make sliders the next day.
Yes.
You'll love some of this maybe the next morning warmed in a skillet with your eggs.
Oh, I know I think of that, David, but that would be wonderful.
And maybe
Absolutely.
some hash brown potatoes.
Yes, yes.
And if we're serving it down south, we might serve a great big old heap and pile of grits with that. That's some good eating right there. This is phenomenal product. Really lovely.
Yeah, this is what as a butcher, I always look at where the origin is. We start with the very, very best pork filet mignon. So if you like a beef filet mignon because it's really, really flavorful and it's soft and tender and buttery, that's what this pork is. But what you're going to get is you're going to get this steakhouse seasoning, or you're going to get this Italian seasoning, which really is fully through the entire pork filet mignon.
And if you cut one more piece of that, I'll eat one more piece of that.
There you go.
Now, half the quantity we brought in is gone, but you only have until the end of our show. It's now 8:14 p.m. East Coast time. At 9:59, this price tag goes away. I'll have a little more of that Italian marinade to go around. That is delightful.
Thank you.
So good, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Looking forward to the rest of our show. Looking forward to keeping you updated on our pork tenderloins, the marinated pork tenderloins. Right now, though, I'd like to remind you, before we talk about that great deal from KitchenAid,